No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Ooh, the gym. My old stomping grounds. Hank Patterson, fly fishing guide.
Riley Smith, tight end.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Hey, you wouldn't happen to be the kicker?
No, tight end.
Again, thank you. I'm looking for a kicker for Lithia Ford's fall kickoff sale. But you're not the kicker.
No.
Yeah. Now, the kicker's probably taller and in a lot better shape. So, okay. What position do you play?
Tight end.
Squats. Yeah. Try it sometime.
RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, is going all in this season with an all-star lineup. First up, he led the Broncos to 3 conference championships and 10 20-win seasons. It's Coach Leon Rice. Next, he's the founder and CEO of RowPaint.com. He played a little basketball in high school on the driveway with his mom. It's Andy Rowe.
Oh, no. Want to just paint my house?
Now that I can do. When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust RowPaint.com to get that job done right.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Greetings, Boise State fans. We are 12 hours and about 20 minutes from a tip-off, and I got Matt Bauscher, special treat, in the Cutwater Studios here. And what do you think? This is a fabulous studios here. What do you think, man?
Thanks for the VIP tour. I appreciate it.
We may be doing some business with Bauscher Real Estate, as you should be doing. So Matt's here checking out our home, and the Rains family thinking about upgrading. We'll see if we're going to find out just how good Matt and his team are here maybe over the next few weeks if we can pull this off. But appreciate Matt for stopping by. And we were going to do it a little later after we had Jay Tust on. It worked out better. I said, let's just start the show early so folks that are watching now get a nice little treat. They get us here in studio. So hopefully you can hear both of us okay. If you can't, let us know. We're using a little different setup with some different mics here than I usually use. But Matt, that New Mexico game the other night, man, fun game, big crowd, and that was just as maybe one of the funner games that I remember in a while there.
They came and they were prepared in the first half, was kind of back and forth, and we weren't looking as dialed in as we were, but out of the gate, whatever they said at halftime sure worked.
Man, you've been to a lot of games though, man. Now that this place has been packed and New Mexico and just every call and crowd, it seems like this team the fans are buying in, and that was 6 o'clock on a Saturday, man. I mean, that place was juiced.
I don't know if I've heard it as good as this season ever. I mean, you talk about the home win with San Diego State, the home win with Colorado State. Now you got this big home win with New Mexico, and to cap it off tonight, hopefully with Nevada. I mean, that would be quite the run we'd had since going on the road to Logan.
What for you during this 5-game winning streak? What has kind of stood out to you about what's been successful for this team?
the defense has been consistent and as tough, tough as nails. That's the baskets they're getting are actually earned. They're getting nothing easy like they were in some of those road games. And I'd say our offense is very fluid. I mean, the big four have had, pretty consistent games every single game. And Tyson just took it to a whole new level. And Omar, I mean, I don't even know where to start.
How impressive. I mean, I know the coaches hyped him up to you. I know you watched some film, but how has Omar lived up to what you thought they were getting?
He's unbelievable. I mean, he's so athletic. He's on the boards. You have to almost put two guys on him, which can open up the other stuff. And he passes the ball well. He's shooting the ball well. And, he's a force. And the fact that he's only, he's still got more years left here is pretty special.
Someone said it was hard to hear you, so I turned you up a little bit. Hopefully that works. Nate Staley also says, best realtor in the state. Give this man your business. You won't be disappointed. Sold my house in 2 days. So there you go. I would love that. We'll see if
Thanks, Nate.
There you go. But yes, definitely best in the business. BauscherRealEstate.com. Their team is tremendous. And looking forward to seeing if we can pull this off. But you mentioned Tyson, man, what he's doing, 20 plus points again. I think it's going to be hard with Ledee if he's just doing a lot of, but if Boise State gets the number 1 seed first place, I think you can make a very strong case. I know we're all biased here in Boise. Ledee is having an All-American type season. It's going to be tough, I think, personally to overcome him. Remember, the media and the coaches do separate polls. The coaches kind of voted to kick out the media. The media still does their own, but it's the league still kind of recognizes it. But the official one is by the coaches, and sometimes they usually reward the team that finishes first and whatever. So we'll see. But with whether it's Osabor or even Brown, the point guard at Utah State has hit some huge shots for them. Regardless, I think Tyson's put himself at least on the first team again, and he's having a heck of a year.
Yeah, I think if we win the last 2 games, Jay, to get ahead of tonight, but Tyson's got to be player of the year. I mean, it's saying a lot, but he's taken to a whole nother level. For the month of February, I don't know if you saw that got posted, but he was the second most efficient player in the country. Yes. 94.8%, almost perfection. And what he's doing with so little of shots. And at the defensive end, he's so underlooked. I mean, he constantly guards a bigger guy, and they rarely ever get buckets on him.
Yeah, and at times, sometimes a little bit of length, like the Washington State game. Sometimes at least earlier in the season, when you had a really long, lanky, big guy, would kind of limit him under the basket. But he's continued to find ways with the pump fakes and the up and unders, and he plays bigger, than his size at times. And when you need him to hit an outside shot like that corner 3 right near where you were sitting, I mean, that was a huge shot as well.
That was a big shot. And I mean, to go back to the defense, Burns has got him playing great defense. You look at the 5. Let's just start with the starting 5. Roddy might be the best defender at the point guard position in the league. I mean, what he did to House and some of these guards, and even, when we had Stevens here in Boise, and then you got Max at the 2 that you think you could exploit, but he's long. He's always in the right place, getting steals, hustle plays. He's hard to get around. And Buzo, I mean, he's an NBA level defender. And then you go to Tyson and Omar. I mean, you don't have a weak spot on the defensive end, and that's what you're seeing.
And I don't remember the exact number. I was trying to think. I think it's top 40, but they kind of say like every team that's won the national championship in the last 20 years, whatever, had an offense and a defense. I think in the top 40 at KenPom. And right now the defense is 31 and the offense is 41. And not to say this team's going to win a national championship, but if you want the components of a team that can make a run in March, you can't just be one side of the ball. And the offense, I mean, they were like outside the top 100 a month ago. Yeah. And I get it. Some of the games you're playing the bottom 4 teams in the standings. But again, when the spread's 8 or 9 and you're winning by 30, I think that accounts for something. So the defense has certainly been great, 30-31 in the country. But Tim Duryea and the offense has really come along as well.
Yeah, I mean, top 40 in both. I don't remember last time we were net 24. Has there been a time we've been
one of the years, like the first day it came out, they were number 7 or something. I remember like the first year it ever came out, there was some weird fluky thing, but this late in the season, probably not. No.
And you talk about New Mexico, we've now beat 7 of the last 8. In San Diego State, I want to say 5 of the last 7 or 6 of the last 8.
Yeah,
it's pretty impressive what we've done against those 2 programs.
No doubt about it. And you think about this league being as good as it's been. Somebody's asking you though, is this the best BSU team you've seen?
I think they have a chance to be the best team ever, especially because they are set up, and I believe they will win a couple games in the tournament. And the difference right now is so big because getting a 6 seed versus getting a 9 seed is a world of difference. And 8-9 is basically the same seed.
Yep.
Right. You get an 8-9, you get a Memphis type opponent. That's unbelievable. You can squeeze in there and get a 6. Now you're playing an 11 seed, and you're actually going to be a 5-point favorite instead of a pick 'em.
Yeah. Last year they were a 10. and Northwestern was the 7, I
7,
believe.
yep.
And everybody kind of liked that matchup. And then they were just pretty athletic, and it didn't go the way Boise State fans want. But you're right. I mean, it's kind of common sense. But every seed you go up, the team you're playing is going down.
No question.
And getting
It's
off
massive.
that 8-9 line would be huge. You're starting to see more 7s show up.
Yep.
I know Leon's been really frustrated about this. I know fans are frustrated, but I don't know why it's taken so long, but it just seems like a lot of the brackets and stuff, just they're not giving them the respect. They still have them on that 8-9 line, but you're starting to see, I think Joe Lenardi has a new bracket. I believe they're up to a 7. Jerry Palm has them as a 7 now. At a minimum, this team, you would think it should be a 7, but if they can win some games here, I mean, 5 or 6 is not out of the question.
That's where it is you win some games, because a 6 seed, you're talking the top 24 teams, which we're in now. But the next 2 games will really dictate that, because, a 9 seed, top 30, you lose a couple games and now you are 36 net. So I think it's going to be right in that 6 to 10 seed, depending on how we do in the next 10 days.
Nate says, well, they would have won the Northwestern game if Shaver didn't re-injure his ankle.
That was bad luck.
Cody says, I feel this team can win in more ways, and the defensive and offense is more balanced. You're not relying on just the defense. If they need to win a game 50-48, they probably can. If they need to win that game 89-79 like they did against New Mexico, they can do that as well.
Well, and I think when every guy shoots a 3-pointer, everybody in the crowd thinks every shot is going in. And then also in the last 5 minutes, everybody feels calm. Yep. And that's a sign of a championship team, is when, the game's on the line and nobody is fearful. Everybody's playing loose and relaxed, and they have the belief they're going to win. And that's what you look in a championship team.
And you mentioned Roddy, his development over the last month or so. And I wrote about him the other day, just his development in terms of continuing to learn to be a point guard and not just a scoring guard like he was there. He's still scoring some. He's getting to the rack, but he's finding other guys and doing some things. And he still has kind of the boneheaded turnover occasionally where he'll just drive with nothing to do and have nowhere to pass it to. But maybe you'll live with that, I guess, with what else he's starting to do. But I mean, you think about not only this year, but the next 2 to 3 years of Roddy Anderson. I mean, we're finally seeing why they brought him here.
Well, and his defense, I mean, is hit such a high level, and now his offense, he's feeling more comfortable, and he's going to make some mistakes. You give that leeway when you're so aggressive, but his ceiling is so high. He's an elite athlete, elite defender, and he gets that offensive going a little more and more comfortable with the pick and roll. He's going to be a force. And I can't say enough about the bench, the guys who aren't getting consistent playing time, but when they come in, Whiting, Meadow, Keene, you got obviously Cam's been a massive factor.
Yeah.
And then you even talk about Kobe. When he's came in, he's been great, like the Air Force game. So I think those guys staying ready is huge too, because 3 games in 3 days, we haven't done it all year. Even in the Orlando trip, they had a day off, and I've played 3 games in 3 days. That Saturday, especially an early game, it'd be a 3:00 start in the championship. You're going to need some minutes from some of these guys, and there's going to be some unsung heroes that come in and step up and hit some big shots.
We'll get to Jay Tust here in just a minute, but final thing or two for you, Matt. Just everyone talked about the super team that Leon mentioned and whether it is or isn't. I mean, and you mentioned this team can be the greatest. Do they need to for any of that to come true? I mean, has this got to be the year where the 0-9 ends?
Oh, I think they're going to win a game this year in the tournament, no question. But then we were debating the other day, and this is us guys who don't play, have these conversations. Would you rather them win another Mountain West championship in Vegas, or would you rather them not win the championship, win the first game in the tournament?
Oh, if you can guarantee that they're going to win the first game, you would take that all day. You'd lose your next three games if you're guaranteed to win a game in the tournament.
Yeah, and that's the debate. Would you rather be a champion or win one game?
Yeah,
I mean you don't get a championship ring for winning one game in the NCAA tournament.
That's true, but
that's the debate, right?
I think you got to end the 0-9. I think you got to take. They've got the ring a couple of years ago. I mean, yeah, that would be perfect. That'd be perfect. But tonight, Nevada, 9 p.m. It's snowing outside. What's your the floor is yours? Your plea to get fans to show up tonight.
I heard West Data doesn't even have school tomorrow.
They don't. My kids
Karen
are off.
just told me.
Yeah,
that.
my kids will be there.
There's no excuses. We need that place absolutely packed. It's the last chance to watch our seniors who've done so much for our program, not only on the court, but also in the community. We owe it to them. Our seniors have been amazing. They've done a great job being leaders and mentors to our young kids, and we need to show up and support them.
And the game tonight, Nevada, Boise State already went there early in conference season, but that was 2 months ago. Just your take on the game tonight.
Nevada might be the hottest team in the league. I mean, they went into Colorado State and won. They're on a little winning streak right now. They haven't even had their best player during a lot of these games, and I don't know his status of his injury. But Blackshear, is he? I don't know if he's 100%.
I think he's going to play, though. He ain't missing this. He ain't missing this one.
Yeah, so it's a big game. I mean, the great thing is we match up really well with Nevada. We really do. There's some teams we match up well with, and I think Nevada's one of those. And our speed, I think, can get to Lucas a little bit. And then we have the length with Blackshear, with Buzo. So it's going to be a great game. It's a great time for college basketball. The month of March, we're playing for potentially a championship, and you win these 2 games, you're champions, whether it's co-champions or outright.
Final thing, and I was going to get to Jay. 1 second, sorry, but Max Rice, you've known this family, this guy for a long time. His senior night tonight, just give us a final thought on Max and his career here, and just his impact on this program.
What Max has done for the city of Boise and Boise State. I mean, when he was a senior at Bishop Kelly, no one expected him to get on the court. He had to live with, your dad's the coach, the only reason why you're on the team. And what did he do? He worked, he got better. He was a great teammate. He was great in the gym, and he's become one of the best all-time Boise State Broncos in history, not only by his points and his grittiness, but his wins. I mean, he's a flat-out winner. What he's done for the city of Boise, Max Rice will be forever remembered, and I respect him so much, the adversity and the perseverance he's gone through when he had a lot of people doubting him, at his ability to not only play at the Division I level, but start at the Division level and be an all-conference player at the Division I level in the Mountain West.
Yeah,
we're talking about one of the best conferences in the country,
no doubt.
More top 40 teams than the SEC, the ACC, the Pac-12, you name it. I mean, that's pretty impressive for Max Rice.
And I sat down for about 9 minutes with Max. We had a one-on-one interview on the court yesterday. We'll air a bite here coming up, at the full interview on the Lithia Florida Boise pregame show. Early start tonight. We're going 90 minutes. Senior night, let's go a little longer. I got one-on-one interviews with all 4 seniors: Cam Martin, Sam Winter, Mohamed Silla, and then the big one is Max Rice. So you'll see all those interviews on the pregame show. Buzo is going to go through senior night, but Leon did say yesterday they expect him to test the waters, but the expectation plan as of now is for him to still be back next year, and we'll talk about next year's team later, but they got the chance to be really, really good. So appreciate you, Matt, as always. We'll see you courtside. Looking forward to it. Can't wait to hear what you think this house is worth, and looking forward to hopefully getting that done. BauscherRealEstate.com. Again, he's got like an entire team working for him. He's like, no, I'll show up and do it myself. So best in the business, Matt. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you, BJ.
Thanks a lot to Matt. Again, BauscherRealEstate.com. Make sure you check him out for all your real estate needs, whether you're buying, selling. Him and his team will take care of you, and we appreciate your support, man, of BNN. So we'll see you tonight, Matt. We're going to take a quick 90-second break, and then Jay Tust is ready to go. We'll get right to him and keep the Bronco Nation News Friday edition going here on Bronco Nation News. Back in 90 seconds. All Bronco Nation News broadcasts come from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of premix premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. For all your commercial, industrial, residential painting needs, check out rowpaint.com. Don't forget about their concrete coatings. Transform that ugly concrete slab on your back patio in your garage in just one day. Contact rowpaint.com for a free estimate today. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our title sponsor at Bronco Nation News is rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union's been helping members achieve financial success for more than 80 years. There's an ICCU branch on almost every corner, but the closest is in your pocket with free eBranch mobile and online banking. See why more than 500,000 members love ICCU, and join 1 in 4 Idahoans by making the switch today at ICCU.com. Since 1984, Ridley's Family Markets has prided itself on being a hometown food and drug store that employed value members of the local community. Ridley's Family Markets has 13 locations in the state of Idaho and many more in the surrounding states. Download the new Ridley's app to your smartphone, get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line, and find a location near you at shopridleys.com. Former Bronco Matt Bauscher is once again the number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. No home is too big or too small for Matt and his team. Let them fulfill all your real estate needs at BauscherRealEstate.com. All right, I made Jay Tust wait, but I apologize for that, Jay. I know you got a lot going on, but we had Matt came out. We're actually looking to maybe sell our house, Jay. We might be looking to upgrade a little bit, and had Matt come out and check out the house, and said he said, hey, why don't we just do a segment live? So we made it work. So appreciate you, Jay Tust, and how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you, bud?
Doing good. Go ahead and jack up your maybe it's on my end, but if you can jack up your volume a little bit, the top left dial, just turn it up a little more, but that might have been on my end as well. So
I believe I'm cranked to the
you
max.
should be good. I think that was more on my end. I think you're fine.
Okay.
But we are about 12 hours exactly from tip-off tonight. Crazy to think about. 12 hours from tip-off. By the way, don't come back, dude. It's still snowing here.
That's what I heard. I don't want to come back, man. Like I have to come back, but I don't want to come back. I guess the only saving grace here is it's only about a week until we head to Las Vegas. So
there you go. A week from today,
we got to put up with it for a week, and then hopefully we're sent somewhere that it's not snowing for March Madness.
We'll go to Brooklyn, the furthest, worst possible place, the coldest, most expensive, probably Brooklyn.
Actually, I'm probably hoping that it is snowing because I'd rather it be Spokane or Salt Lake City.
Sure. But yeah, it is like literally we got another 2 inches or something overnight, and it's still coming down. And Jay is heading straight to the airport after the show. His vacation is in the books, and you'll see him at Extra Mile Arena tonight. Yep. How excited go
that's
ahead.
That's how far we are from tip-off, by the way. I will travel all the way back to Boise with my lovely family and still make tip-off.
You have you have 12 hours, dude. This is ridiculous. We're getting ready for it, though, because unfortunately, I think at the Mountain West tournament, we're going to have some evening starts probably as well. Melinda did say 70s in Vegas. So, yeah, it's going to be nice and warm down there next week. Looking forward to that. But what is your excitement level, Jay? After traveling with 2 kids, I'm sure you're super excited to get that part done, and I know how that goes. But your excitement to get that part over with and get to Extra Mile Arena for what should be an awesome night tonight.
I mean, we're going to step inside the madness that is March here soon, and where every single game you just get that feeling of anxiety, the nerves just kind of comfort you almost this time of year because you know that the magnitudes of these games is heightened. And it's senior night tonight. Boise State is still playing for a Mountain West regular season title. They're still trying to get the number 1 seed at the Mountain West tournament, which they're going to need a little help getting. Obviously, they need Utah State to lose one of their final 2 games. I don't know how likely that is, but if they do, then Boise State would have a chance of getting that 1 seed if they were to win out. So
I think New Mexico might get them, man. New Mexico is so desperate. Well, they're just so desperate for a win. If they want to make the tournament, they got to win that game. And I think they're going to come out with a much different energy and just a play level than they did against Boise State. I maybe it's the homer side of me, whatever. That's fine. But I would not be. I think there's going to be a chance that New Mexico could win that. I really do.
Well, that game's Saturday, right?
Saturday at like 6 p.m. Yep.
Yeah. So they're going to know. Utah State's going to know what they're playing for. Because Boise State and San Diego State will have wrapped this thing up. So, I mean, there is a chance that game is irrelevant, I guess, if Boise State doesn't pull off a win at San Diego State on Friday night. But, one thing that stood out to me real quick, getting back to even what Matt was talking about with, it's almost time to try to go win 3 games in 3 days. And I know that, we'll touch on this stuff, more in the very near future next week and things like that. But, for the most part, unless you get that 1 seed, man, like it's just not going to be like years past where you think you can get up in a quarterfinal game by 20 and kind of rest the legs of your starters and keep them in that 30-minute range. Like it just feels like it's going to be a 3-day war in Las Vegas to where you're going to have to ride your horses probably pretty hard. So at some point in time, there are, some bench players that are going to need to make an impact and alleviate some of the minutes from the starters. But man, it's going to be so much fun to watch this year.
Bronco Race's new house, BNN must be rolling on the money. No, not exactly. We just have a super small house and we have 2 kids that are growing. So no, not exactly. Like I said, I don't even know if we can make it work or pay for it, but Matt's team's the best. So if we can pull it off, we will. And it was good to have Matt's like, I'll just come out and do it at your house. I'm like, do I really need Matt Bauscher coming out to my house? But I was like, all right, why not? And so we'll see if we can pull it off. But we appreciate Matt for coming out. And yes, me maybe looking at a new house has nothing to do with having swimming in money from BNN. I can promise you that. But somebody asked you how the Mariners were looking, by the way.
They were okay. Yeah, I got a chance to watch them play over the weekend. So they looked okay. I don't know. I really wish we would have made a couple bigger splashes during the off season, but you know how it is, Rudy. It's baseball. Every team has a chance to win the World Series on opening day, so that will be my optimistic outlook, just like it has been every other year of my life.
Alexandra wants to remind you that Tyson is a junior.
Alexandra, I know it's just a typo. That's my fault. I
like how Tyson played it off, though. Don't worry, folks.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's only a junior. Thank goodness.
What will it take? Would it be the 1 seed? Do they have to get the 1 seed for him to have any real shot at Player of the Year? You think?
Probably. The thing that works against Tyson, and I talked about this with him a week or so ago. He's kind of too boring to win flashy awards, and that is actually the ultimate compliment, because Tyson Degenhart is like the most consistent player there is, right? Like you know what you're going to get out of him, and it's kind of like why nobody's won the Heisman. Well, I guess you go Herschel Walker or whatever, but it's really hard to win the Heisman twice, right? Like everybody, after you win it, everybody falls in love with the new guy, the flashy guy. No, he's done it before. Those are his expectations. And so I know Tyson's never won Mountain West Player of the Year award, but he's won other awards, and he's so darn consistent that everybody wants to fall in love with. Jaden Ledee comes out of nowhere, averaging 20. I'd say comes out of nowhere, but like just in terms of his scoring output, I mean, I don't know who would have expected him to make that massive of a jump. Great Osibor goes from being, kind of mainly a bench player for Montana State to, again, being a guy that could win Mountain West Player of the Year honors. But I guess the one thing that I would counter to that is that I don't think there's a player in the league playing as good as Tyson Degenhart is right now. And I really believe that. He is night in, night out. He's a consistent 20 piece. I mean, like you can almost count on it. And he's probably going to get there on like 12 to 14 shots. He's going to get to the free throw line. He's going to rebound. He's not going to turn the ball over. He's going to help you win basketball games. And again, I think if you look, since the calendar flipped to February, I don't know if I really don't think there's a guy that's playing better in the Mountain West Conference than Tyson Degenhart is over the last month plus.
We saw that graphic. He was like number 2 in the country in terms of efficiency and things in the month of February. So, I mean, he's playing as good as anybody is. And I think they have to win the league, though. I mean, maybe if they share it, and San Diego State finishes third, maybe enough people would say you can't give it to the guy that finishes third. But I mean, there's a lot of people that have Ledee on like all-American teams right now. So I think the perception of him and what he has done, especially early in the season, he has tailed off a little. But I think it's going to be hard for Ledee not to win it, to be honest with you. But I mean, I might even go Brown over Osibor. I think Brown has hit some huge shots for them, man.
They would not be in first place without Darius Brown. They wouldn't have a win at Boise State. They wouldn't have a win at UNLV, and they wouldn't have a win at Fresno State. He saved them in all of those games. Excuse me. But I want to point this out real quick here, because if you look at the month of February, right? I do believe that Darius Brown should be somewhere in the conversation, but I think that when this all breaks down, you're going to have Tyson Degenhart, Jaden Ledee, and Great Osibor as the three guys that everybody's going to focus on for this award. And when I say nobody in the league is playing better than Tyson Degenhart right now, I want to take a look at the month of February, right? Tyson Degenhart averaging 22 points per game, shooting 65.7% from the field with 6.8 rebounds. 22, 65, almost 7. Jaden Ledee, 20.7 points per game, 60% from the field, 7.3 rebounds. So Tyson, a little bit better in scoring and efficiency. Jaden got him by half a rebound a game in over the last month or so. Great Osibor, 13.3 points per game, 54.1% shooting, 7.5 rebounds. So he leads that little group. He leads that group in rebounds by Tyson by 0.7, Jaden by 0.2, but he's shooting over 10 percentage points lower than Tyson is, and he's averaging almost 10 points per game less than Tyson again over the last month or so. And so there are other things that Great does great. He's a shot blocker. Over that same span, he's averaging 1.7 blocks, 2.2 steals. That's the best by far out of those three. But I just think when you're looking at some of the numbers that people are usually going to pay attention to, it's hard to deny Tyson Degenhart's not playing better. That Tyson Degenhart isn't playing the best basketball out of anyone in the conference this last month. And I think the significance of that too, real quick, BJ. Remember last year how Tyson had to play the 5, and it almost seemed like at this point in time in the year, like the season got on him, like it wore on him, and now he's just getting better.
Yeah, especially from three. He started out really poor from 3-point range, but I think I had a note when I went on with Johnny and Prater on Friday that his 3-point percentage is up to like over 39% for the last 7 or 8 games. I can't find my notes here, but he's improved from 3-point range down the stretch here as well. And certainly has, as you know, I think as Derek says, Jay Tust spot on. I think the Tyson logic applies to Boise State as a whole. Big reason the media talks less about the team. And then I was talking to Matt about that. I mean, that is starting to frustrate Leon a little bit. I can tell he brought it up on his own again yesterday. Like just the fact that it doesn't seem like Boise State is getting talked about or getting the respect amongst these other Mountain West teams. But you do look now in most of the projections, Jay, Boise State has passed Colorado State. They have passed passed New Mexico. And some have them on the same line as Nevada. I think Boise State has a better resume than Nevada, especially I think winning tonight would cement that by sweeping them. So that's why another reason why I think tonight is a big game. If you sweep you sweep Nevada, I think you have to have a better. I mean, everybody forgets that year that Boise State won the Mountain West regular season and tournament championship. They got a worse seed than Colorado State because Colorado State swept them in both those games. I think Colorado State was like a 7 and Boise State was like an 8 or 9 when they won the regular season and the tournament and were rolling, and yet they lost twice to Colorado State. So I think that that's going to hurt them against Utah State, certainly in the seeding, and I think it's going to help them. I think if they win tonight, they should be no worse than third in the hierarchy in terms of March Madness. I would argue they should have, Utah State fans are already coming at me like I think they have a better resume than Utah State. Now, it's the two head-to-head games do matter, so maybe you get a third meeting with them in the tournament, which I would love to see because I think Boise State on a neutral court can beat Utah State. But I don't know. If you just look at the rankings and the metrics and all the out-of-conference schedule and all that stuff, I feel Boise State clearly has a better resume than Utah State. But again, the two head-to-head is hard to ignore.
Yeah. It is. It's really hard to ignore when you're considering that. By the way, Tyson, 40.9% from 3 over his last 8 games.
There you go.
So he is shooting it pretty good from 3 right now. It's so I'll go with Nevada first. There was somebody that emailed me, and I actually put Boise State for the first time this season. I put them at number 25 on my AP ballot. And I think it's just because
Homer.
And that's fine. And it's really funny because there's been other times this year where I've been close and Boise State has received more votes and I haven't had them on my top 25.
They deserve it this week.
I look at the way they're playing right now, man, and I look at the teams on the back end of who you're really considering. Like, I have them over a school like Dayton. Like, Dayton did some, was okay in the non-con, but I don't know. Is the league they play in isn't the Mountain West. And I'm giving Boise State more credit for what they've done, in 2024, since the new year than I am Dayton. I even considered Nevada just because what they did last week without Keenan Blackshear was really, really, really impressive, right? And now they're probably back on a borderline top 25 mention because they're playing extremely well right now.
Yep.
But I just don't know how you can't look at Boise State and give them the nod over those two teams. If they go 1-1 this week, I don't think they're going to be ranked. I mean, to be so close, you have to be perfect, when you're trying to stay in the top 25. So even if they were to beat Nevada,
there's been a couple times this year, Jay, where if they would have just won one more game, they would have been ranked, and then they lost.
Yeah, I agree with that. And they're kind of in that position again. But I believe at the moment they're a top 25 basketball team. And I think when you really look at them and compare them to the past, you could argue that they don't really have Marcus Shaver Jr. this year. And I get that. But Roddy is definitely continuing to grow. More than anything, I would argue they've never had a guy like Omar Stanley. And the energy he brings is something else, man. And when he wants to get on the offensive glass, he can be a massive game changer. And we saw that against New Mexico, really in both games against the Lobos. Yeah. Tyson Dagenhart's playing extremely well. Chibuzo Abo, same deal. For him to go out and get 13 boards, man, he showed off his athleticism, his heart, his desire. And another thing that we don't really talk about with Buzo nearly enough probably is how he's playing on defense. And Matt kind of mentioned, like, you like Buzo's length on a guy like Keenan Blackshear. I don't think that we talk enough about Buzo and what he's doing on the defensive end of the court right now. So, you like, I don't know. Getting back to it, BJ. I actually kind of agree with Leon. I get why he might be a little agitated, but that's why there's this tournament in March where you throw the ball up in the air and you get to decide who's the best team in the country or who the best teams in the country are. And one more stat, like I was looking it up, Boise State in Ken Palm's adjusted offense has jumped like almost 70 spots, 60 or 70 spots.
41 right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Prior to a game I called, and this is off the top of my head, I think it was Utah Valley. I think it was right before the start of Mountain West Conference play. They were like 112. And so they have made this massive jump in offensive efficiency while still maintaining their defensive efficiency at 31. And I think I was trying to count it up before the show today really, really quick. I think there are 25 teams in the country that rank in the top 50 in both adjusted offensive efficiency and adjusted defensive efficiency. Boise State's one of those 25, and I think they might be one of 3 out of those 25 that have not been ranked at some point in time this year. So I didn't get a chance to really go back and look through it. I know Oklahoma was ranked at some point in time. I can't recall if Wake Forest has jumped into the top 25 at all this year, but they're one of just a couple of schools out of that elite group that hasn't been ranked at some point in time this year.
I do want to, I know you don't have a ton of time. I do want to get into Max Rice though, briefly, but one more thing, Joe Lunardi's updated bracket this morning does have Boise State playing in Omaha, Nebraska as a 7 seed, 7 seed in Omaha against Florida Atlantic as a 10. I saw Florida Atlantic down there in that tournament in Orlando. That would be an interesting game. They've won some nice wins, obviously last year making that run to the Final Four, but they've lost some games this year as well. But the news is he has Boise State up to a 7 seed. Joe Lunardi does. He has Nevada as an 8. He has Colorado State as a 9. So he's at least starting to buy in a little bit on that. And I think Jerry Palm had them up to a 7 as well. Quickly, Lithia Ford at Boise, lithiafordboise.com. Title sponsor of our pre and post game shows. Check them out. Loving my F-150 in the snow, which is, man, it is still coming down, Jay. Thick flakes right now. Have a fun time coming back. But Lithia Ford Boise, lithiafordboise.com. Rains family, again, very happy with our purchase, and you can go on there and check out their full inventory of vehicles. TacoBellWorks.com. We appreciate the SON Management Group, Nicolason family. TacoBellWorks.com. Check them out. We appreciate their support of Bronco Nation News. They are hiring. They'll give you half your wages the very next day after your shift, and they'll give you free food. So need a job, don't want to wait 3 weeks for that first paycheck, they can help you out at Taco Bell. And again, check them out, TacoBellWorks.com. And the Blue and Orange Store. You're looking for some new gear, go to the Blue and Orange Store. Check them out, theblueandorangestore.com. Jerseys, shirts, hats, T-shirts, you name it. They got it at the Blue and Orange Store. Again, the Boise Town Square Mall. They're on the second floor next to Pro Image. Or online, you get free shipping. Any order online at the Blue and Orange Store. All right, the interview that everybody's been waiting for, Jay Tust. I had a sit down with Max Rice yesterday. I know Brady talked to Max yesterday as well. Max Rice, I really enjoyed chatting with him. Wanted to play one quick bite, then wanted to just get your thought on his career. The full interview with Max Rice will be on our pregame show tonight at 7:30. But here is a short snippet of Max Rice yesterday. Does come to mind when you just think about all the years, all the practices, all the games, and maybe even if you go back before you even got here as a player, just being a part of this program as a fan, with your dad. I mean, just what kind of floats into your mind when you think about all that time kind of culminating, at least right now, tomorrow night?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to just growing up around this program. It was always a goal of mine to be able to play here and contribute and try to make this the best program it can be. And I always knew I could do it, but just actually doing it is a different thing. And being a part of what I think could be the best Boise State team ever heading into deep March. So there's a lot to look forward to, and I'm really excited to finish it off in Extra Mile Arena tomorrow.
Couple of things there, Jay, but he said that he always knew he could do it, and he obviously had to spend the last 6 years proving people wrong. And first it was, he's only putting him on the team because his dad's a coach, and where else would he have even gone? And then it was, he's getting a scholarship. And then this last year, people were wanting him to give up the scholarship to try to add another player. And there's just been a lot of, talk around Max Rice and whether it's, facts and stats that are fair or not. There's been certainly a lot of fans that just for whatever reason have not been Max Rice fans, and they, get on him for playing too much and all this kind of stuff. But you look at the last 6 years, what he's done, top 15 in scoring in Boise State history. And again, I know the COVID year does come into this, but top 15 in scoring. He's already the winningest player of all time in Boise State history. He's got a chance to get to number 2 in Mountain West history for winningest player. I think 99.9% of people have come around on Max and realized, like, hey, when he's gone, like, he was a valuable player to this team. How do you sum up the 6-year career with the redshirt year, the COVID year of Max Rice ahead of his final home game at Extra Mile Arena tonight?
Well, unfortunately, sometimes, guys like Max have to leave, and then you feel their impact, right? And hopefully that won't be the case over these last few weeks, right? Like, the dude scored over 1,200 career points as a Division I basketball player. Like, I don't know how else I could sum up how impressive his career has been. I mean, like, 1,200 career points. That's insane. He's playing really well right now too. You look at the fact that over the last 10 games, he's been in double figures 9 times. He's shooting, from 3 at almost a 43% clip. In that span, he's averaging well over 3 threes made per game. So both volume and efficiency right there. I respect the career that Max Rice has had. And, I can only imagine how emotional this is going to be, BJ, because I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase this. Max Rice is almost, the simplest way to say it, I guess, is he's almost done as a Bronco, which makes sense. But this kid, man, like, he moved to Boise when his father took over as the head coach of the Boise State men's basketball team when, what was he, 8 years old? Something like in that
14 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Something in that range, 8, 9 years old. And ever since then, he's got to go to practice. He's got to watch his dad. He's got to be a part of the team. He was the kid sitting on the couch in 2015 for the NCAA selection show, and soon that will all be over. Like, all of those dreams culminated in this career where he has put up over 1,200 career points, over 200 career threes made. And the dream became a reality. But soon we closed the book on both the dream and what was reality, and he's got to move on. And that's just crazy to me. Like, it's for the first time in a once a Bronco, always a Bronco. I get that stuff. I totally do. But, like, from you can't play for him ever again. You can't dream about playing for him and work hard. From that standpoint, this is all almost over for Max Rice. And so it's crazy that 14 years have gone by, and hopefully he has a big night tonight. I'm gonna predict the Max Rice. Covered Max for a long time. Max is gonna go out in style. Like, I almost have no doubt about it. Max Rice will go out in style tonight.
We got to clip that off and have that ready to go for the post-game show tonight. One way or the other, I guess. But okay, final. And again, by the way, Jay, I think it'd be pretty cool if dream scenario, they got a big enough lead at the end of the game. Doesn't Cade Rice have to be the one to check in for him? I mean, I think Cade has to come in, embrace on the court, standing ovation. Maybe you let them play together for a second and take them both out together. There's a couple ways you could do it. I actually asked Leon about it yesterday, and he gave me a fair answer, but he's like, hey, this isn't a storybook. This isn't a movie. You can't do that. Yeah. You can't write the script ahead of time. We'll see what happens, but I think that's got to be in the back of his mind. If there's any possible way, I think Cade Rice has to be somehow involved, whether they come off together, whether he subs in for him. I think Max Rice deserves that moment tonight, and that family does as well.
I got to say that's not a bad way for this to end, BJ. That would actually be pretty poetic right there. If it could happen, that would be pretty cool, pretty poetic if it could. Also, can we get Sam? I want a shot for Sam Winter tonight.
I told Mo Silla yesterday if he gets in, he needs to shoot a 3.
Just bomb one up. Let it fly.
When Mo Silla jacks up a 3 when he gets in at the end of the game, it's because I told him to. But that is one kind of small thing I have with Leon. Like, or maybe it's not necessarily a negative with him, but like, I saw Bill Self yesterday, and he's always done this. Like, he doesn't matter how important the game is, what's on the line, and maybe the bench players at Kansas are a little different story than the bench players, whatever. But if you're a senior and you've been there your 4 years, you start on senior night. And they've got like 2 walk-ons. I know at least one that are starting on their senior night tonight, I believe it is, or tomorrow. And I get it. Is it disrespectful or unfair to start Sam Winter and then literally the first dead ball take him back out? No. I don't know. Could those first few possessions matter? I get it, but Bill Self gives you to the first media. You deserved it. Your 4 years, you get your 4 minutes, and you get to be a starter. And I know it's really hard. This game means a ton, and Leon's never really done that. There was 1 year, I think, where like the 6th man was a senior, and they just I think Tyson didn't start or something for one game to let somebody else, I forget who it was. It wasn't a starter start, but for the most part, they've started the normal 5, and I think that it's probably I know it's a huge game and it's a really tough spot. I just wish there was a way that Mo and especially Sam could have that moment. But at some point, yes, you need to try to get them in this game, and Sam Winter needs to get one final bucket in Extra Mile Arena.
I would love that. Yeah, that's a tough one. Only because Leon's been in this league for so long, and how many times do these games come down to one possession? Is that a possession you lost, in the first 2 minutes of the game? Hey, maybe it was, but I do agree. It would be cool. Feels like you should also just be able to figure this out with the opposing coach. I don't want to say rig the game. Start them after a minute in. Can't we just throw the ball off of somebody's leg so you maintain possession, but you can swap guys in and out?
They've done that with injured players before to let them have a start or a bucket or something.
Yeah.
Johnny says winter is coming. Final thing, Jay, will that happen tonight? Will Boise State get a chance to put these guys in? How do you see this game playing out? Obviously a monster game. I think this is no one's going to care. I mean, they'll care, but because the conference title will be on the line, but I think Friday you go in with house money if you win tonight, and it's really not a big deal if you lose. And maybe that's not the right thing to say given the conference title on the line, but I feel like for the bigger goals of this team, tonight's kind of the final. Win this game, cement yourself as that 7 seed, you would hope. But just your final thoughts on this game, this team, this season, wherever you want to go.
Nevada's playing super well right now. They really are. A tip of the cap to them, but I really like the way Boise State's playing right now. I hate to go into these things saying oh yeah, they'll be fine, or they'll nothing to worry about or anything like that. But I really do kind of feel like they're gonna put this one away tonight. I mean, they're 5.5 point favorites. I think
that seems high. Matt told me that earlier. That seems a little high to me, but
I look at Boise State, their last, few home games, scored 89 points in a 10-point win versus New Mexico, scored 82 points in a 32-point win against San Jose State, scored 90 points in a 24-point win over Fresno State, and scored 94 points in a 38-point win over Air Force. They're playing really well right now. They're playing really, really well at home right now. And I know that Nevada is certainly going to be a tougher opponent than Air Force, Fresno State, or San Jose State. But I just think they keep this thing rolling tonight, man.
Safe travels back. We will see you if it wasn't already going to be a near sellout. Now knowing that Jay Tust will be back in the building tonight, hopefully that does the trick.
Hey, one more person back in the building. Tell that snow to quit it.
Do they count us for the attendance? I don't know if they do or not, but
I think they do.
You wear some pants today. No shorts on the plane, man.
I hear you.
It's cold and snowing. Safe travels back, and we'll see you tonight, man.
All right, I gotta retire my flip flops for a couple more months. Probably.
No, you don't. But... I know you. I could totally see you getting off the plane in shorts and flip flops. I could see that. Appreciate you, man.
Later, buddy.
Jay had a tight schedule and he still joined us, so we really appreciate that and thank him for coming on and joining us here today. We can keep this rolling for a few more minutes, though. Don't forget, a week from Friday, the KTIK BNN pool party will be at Stadium Swim. We're over 115 people RSVP'd. If you want to come and hang out with us, we'll have some giveaways, some BNN t-shirts, some free swag. If you're a paying subscriber, we're going to have a private cabana for you for a beverage, maybe an appetizer, slider, or chicken finger or something. We'll take care of your first beer or two. So Rains at BroncoNationNews.com. It's just RAINS at BroncoNationNews.com. RSVP. Let me know you're coming, that you want in. We'll get you on the list. Free entry. Otherwise, it's like a $40 cover charge. So there'll be games on all the TVs. There'll be all kinds of stuff. Music. It's just an awesome atmosphere. If you've never been to Stadium Swim, it's at Circa Resort and Casino. We'll be there from 10 to 5 on on next Friday, the 15th. So make plans right now to join us. Also, make plans for our golf tournament, May 31st. If you played last year, you can send me an email if you want in. We'll reserve your spot. We're only saving first dibs go to folks that played last year. We'll save your spot if you tell me. We've already had about 12 groups say they want in. And if you're willing to buy a whole sponsorship, that also guarantees you a spot, because otherwise this thing's going to sell out pretty quick. We're going 64 foursomes, 32 in the morning, 32 in the afternoon. You can choose morning or afternoon, and all the morning ones are going fast. So if you want in now and you want to make sure you get in the morning, you have to get a whole sponsorship as well for your business or however you want to do it. So just save the date. We'll put the general admission foursomes and tickets on sale in the next couple of weeks, probably as soon as basketball season ends. But May 31st, we are looking forward to that. And don't forget, we're getting closer. Thursday, our first live game broadcast will be the Boise State home opener for the softball game. I know the snow not making that look very, very likely right now, but it's supposed to be back into the 40s. They got the field covered, so hopefully by Thursday we'll be good to go. But we'll have Jay and myself on the call. John Mallory is going to join us for the second half of the game once his broadcast gets over on KTIK. And we're going to have Coach Schultz mic'd up in the third base coach's box, so maybe he'll let us call a steal or a hit and run or something. We're going to have a lot of fun with this Thursday, March 7th. You guys can be chatting away in the chat. I don't know if we have the ability to put those on the screen or not. I don't think we do. We're working through some stuff. This is going to kind of be, honestly, a test dry run here for this softball game to see what we can do. We'll be on Facebook, X, and YouTube, so make sure you check us out Thursday at 5 o'clock for the first BNN softball game. Thursday is also the Daniel says never got a confirmation back on the Circa. Daniel, we will I'll check into that, but I don't think you're going to get anything from Circa. I think you're just good. So Jordan is having a watch party also at the Blue Collar Club on Friday night for the San Diego State game. They'll be at House of Western, downtown Boise there. Check them out. They're going to be there at 7:30. The game starts at 8. So Friday night, San Diego State. Trying to get some BNN swag out there. I don't know if my intern Jaden's going to be able to make it. But Jordan and the crew, Blue Collar Club, go check them out. Watch the game with some other BSU fans. San Diego State game Friday, 7:30 at Western Collective there in Boise. Nate says Nevada's going to be tough tonight. Win the battle on the boards and win by 5. That was the difference last year. We're going to get more into this on the pregame show tonight, but that was definitely the difference in the game. Not last year, the last meeting earlier this year. Boise State won the rebounding battle by like 20. So that is going to be a huge thing tonight. Let's hear a quick bite from Cam Martin. I had a chance to sit down with Cam Martin, and this is an interesting quote. He has never cut down the nets. Cam Martin was a part of a conference championship team, a part of a national championship team, but Cam Martin never cut down the nets because he wanted to save that for when he was a contributor, and he's hoping that is this year with Boise State down there in Vegas at the conference tournament. And in the NCAA tournament as well. But here's a quick bite from my sit down with Cam Martin. And again, the full interview will be on the Lithia Florida Boise pregame show tonight at 7:30.
Super excited to get a championship. So for me, I've had a lot of close chances to cutting down nets. I lost state championship by 1. Missouri Southern, we lost conference tournament, conference championship multiple times, championship game. And then my whole time at KU, I redshirted in my first year. I didn't cut down any nets just for the fact that I want to be a bigger part when I cut down my first net. So being able to do that for this team will be big for me.
There he is. It would be big for him. And again, I am working on the audio there. I know it's a little quieter, so I'll make sure I fix that before the pregame show tonight. We had a new setup yesterday. But I have sit-downs with Cam Martin, Max Rice, Mo Silla. We also talked to Sam Winter. So you will hear from all 4 seniors tonight, an extended hour-plus version of the Lithia Florida Boise pregame show. We will start at 7:30 tonight, 7:30. The game's not till 9, but we will be live at 7:30 with interviews. We're going to have KJ Mack on live as well, the public address announcer ahead of his last game. We'll have Abe Jackson on. We'll have, again, all of our sit-downs, 9 minutes with Max Rice and I. You don't want to miss that. A lot of great stuff coming to you tonight. So make sure you join us at 7:30 tonight on the Lithia Florida Boise pregame show, and we'll get you set for Boise State and Nevada in a big one. By the way, transportation compliance service, transcompservice.com. If you're looking to get into the trucking industry, they can help you with all the DOT overweight permits, everything you need to get out there towing that first load in no time. More than 75% of folks that try to do it themselves end up going out of business. So looking for a new job, new career path, think about the trucking industry and let the folks at transcomservice.com help you out. Bronco Brew Coffee, BroncoBrew.coffee, another great sponsor of BNN. They're helping Boise State Athletics with every sip. Check them out. It costs a lot of money to get that logo on the coffee there, folks. So they ponied up. You can return the favor. They're doing tastings at offices and things. They can do weekly subscriptions where every week you get a fresh bag of roasted to order coffee delivered to your house, your office, wherever. But again, they don't roast it till you order it. And within 24 hours, most times in the Treasure Valley, you have that fresh coffee at your doorstep. And again, you can choose the athletes on there that you want to have the NIL deal with and support them. And it's a great way to support Boise State Athletics and BNN at the same time. Our friends out at Lean Feast, you looking to eat healthy, you looking to drop a few pounds, leanfeastmeridian.com. The website's a little off there. It's leanfeastmeridian.com. But Dave and his staff do a tremendous job. Healthy eating, highly recommend it. 2 minutes in the microwave and you're eating steak and shrimp or fish or turkey or whatever you want. 10,000 different combinations. It's all custom made to order, no frozen, packages. It's all fresh, made to order, and you put it in the microwave for 2 minutes and you're good to go. So leanfeastmeridian.com. Check them out. And of course, Timberstone Golf Course. I know it's a little snowy, not exactly golf weather today, but the weather's going to start warming up soon. And I highly recommend Timberstone Golf Course for your next golf outing. They have the indoor simulator as well. Tad Holloway is doing the lessons out there. He's the best in the business with their TrackMan simulator and helping improve your game. So playtimberstone.com. Check them out. Book your tee time today. You will not be disappointed. I highly recommend it. It's worth the drive. I know some folks say it has this bad rap that it's a little bit further drive than some of the courses in the valley, but it is well worth the drive. And I can't wait to get out there when the basketball season's over and try to get some rounds back in at Timberstone Golf Course. Got a couple 9 p.m. snow, could be a small crowd. I don't know. We'll see. As Creamy Cold Boise says, the snow nor the time will keep me from the pavilion tonight. So I think that the diehards are going to show up tonight. Those that do show up are going to be loud. Most of the roads are still in good shape. Do the doors open at the normal time, 1 hour before tip? Yes, Eddie, that is the plan, I believe. You're going to want to be in your seats by like 8:45, though. I believe the senior night festivities will start before tip. So I would say make plans. Tell your friends, 8:45-ish or so. You want to be in your seats ready to go for the senior festivities. I know it's 9. I know it's late. I helped, I purchased and gave away 6 tickets yesterday to some folks that wanted to go. They still have the $9 tickets available online. We're keeping my boys. They got an 8 o'clock dentist appointment tomorrow, but Karen and the boys are gonna come and looking forward to the final home game of the year. So hopefully it's a big crowd. Hopefully it's close to a sellout. I think you owe it to them. And yeah, I just saw Bronco say this. Bronco 130, owe it to the seniors to be there. And yes, we do now have the ability to read comments on Twitter. So that is pretty cool. I just noticed that as Nate says, we still, for monetary reasons, we can make more money if we have folks watching on YouTube. But if you are watching on Twitter, we appreciate you guys as well, Facebook as well, but that's cool to see that we can do that. It is what it is, really bad for senior night. Yeah, Boise State didn't pick the time. It's on Fox Sports 1 tonight, and what kind of stinks, it's the exact same time as the San Diego State and UNLV game. So you get this late start time, and there's another good Mountain West game going on at the same time. So it is kind of a bad beat tonight, but it's 9 p.m. Who's really going to bed at 9 p.m.? I mean, you're not. So $9 tickets, sell the place out tonight, make it a fun atmosphere. And those that do show up, the diehards, I think are going to make it just as loud as it has been for some of the other games, even if it's not quite the, typical, sellout on the third deck or whatever it is. So we'll see if the students show up. Students should be showing up tonight. Let's get the students out there. 9 o'clock, late start for them, but come on. What do we got to do to get the students to fill the corral tonight? That's what I'm looking for and hoping to see in the final home game tonight. So big one against Nevada. Max Rice, final game of his career. Jay Tust said he's going to go out in style tonight. I tend to agree with him. And Boise State could certainly use it because this Nevada team can play. Jared Lucas, Keenan Blackshear, Hunter McIntosh. They got some really quality players. This game is going to be harder than the New Mexico game was the other day. And as I said, this is kind of the final game. You win this game, you're playing with house money, in my opinion, down in San Diego. And tonight's the night. Win tonight, and then take your chances on Friday. And as a fan, crack open a Cutwater, enjoy Friday's game, and see what happens. So I am excited. It's going to be a long day. Looking forward to it. We're still, 11 hours from tip-off, but I'm excited for it, and I'm looking forward to being there tonight. Again, early start, 7:30 with the pregame show, because we have 4 interviews we want to play with Max, with Cam, with Mo Silla, and with Sam Winter. I mentioned KJ Max going to join us live as well. So a lot of interviews, a lot of coverage of senior night, and you're not going to want to miss our pregame show tonight. So tell your friends, subscribe if you can. We need like 55 more paying subscribers. We're so close to getting to 1,000. I would love to get to 1,000 by the spring game. If you can help us out, $50, BNN 50 deal. We're doing things like the softball game on Thursday. Traveling to the NCAA tournament's going to be expensive on 2 days notice for flights. So BNN 50 deal. $50 and you get a whole year for $50 using that promo code. So if you can help us out and subscribe, we would certainly love that. Tell your friends, at least at a minimum, if you can make sure you're following us on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Help our social media following, and retweet our broadcasts and like our broadcasts and share them and help us out to spread the word about BNN. That would certainly be a big help to us. So appreciate you guys. We started early because Matt Bauscher was out here at my house. So if you missed the beginning of the show, go back and watch our interview with Matt Bauscher. We appreciate Jay Tust doing that before he has to hurry off to the airport. Appreciate all of our sponsors, and appreciate all of you for your support of BNN over the 2+ years we've done this. So excited about the future of BNN. Super pumped, excited for this final 2-game stretch of the basketball season, and looking forward to the tournament next week in Las Vegas. Please make plans to join us at Circa Resort and Casino. We'll be there flying down on Tuesday night, and we'll be doing live shows there for us and KTIK Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and really looking forward to all of that. So appreciate you guys, and have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you tonight. Pre-game show at 7:30, doors open at 8, and the senior night festivities, I believe, somewhere around 8:45. You want to get in your seats early. So tell your friends, bring a friend, $9 tickets. Let's pack the X tonight. Should be a fun senior night for Boise State. And we'll be live with the Lithia Florida Boise pregame show at 7:30. Go take a nap, get some more coffee, Bronco Brew coffee, of course, and we'll talk to you guys tonight. This has been Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com.